Hello there guys, welcome to another of my videos. So, on this video, there is quite a few things to negotiate about. I'm actually now going to start with the big news regarding Nemanja Matic. So, according to Damasio, Nemanja Matic has signed a new long-term contract at Manchester United to keep him at the football club until 2023. Now, Matic's current contract was due to expire in 2021 because not too long ago we'd actually triggered a 1-year extension on his contract. But yeah, by the way, now we have give him a new contract, Matic, and I presume it is reflecting on his good run of performances because I think Nemanja Matic has enjoyed a very good season for Manchester United. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, he was behind the likes of Scott McTominay, Fred and Andres Pereira. But definitely has become an integral part of our team. This has been now Matic's third season at Manchester United. He has made 114 appearances for the club and scored around 4 goals. We paid £40 million in from Chelsea back in 2017, and he is in his 30s, is Nemanja Matic. So that's another player now we've given a new contract to, because we've actually extended a lot of players' contracts since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in to the football club. But I still think we've got a good 6-7 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So anyway, Damasio's confirmed this. Matic has signed a new contract at Manchester United, so that has been confirmed. But Matic, I thought he was also very good at Chelsea. He actually won 2 Premier League titles with Chelsea, did Matic. He was also very good at Benfica when he was younger. So anyway, that's the breaking news on him. Just want to give you some news on Mason Greenwood. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and said that Mason Greenwood is ready to play for England at senior level. He's also been saying other things about Mason Greenwood, saying that he's a better finisher than Wayne Rooney was at the same age. Mason Greenwood is on 15 goals this season for Manchester United. I think that's in all competitions, but it's good now that Mason Greenwood is getting more starts, because earlier on in the season, the vast majority of Mason Greenwood's appearances was coming from that substitutes bench. Mason Greenwood did score 2 goals in our 5-2 win against Bournemouth recently. He also scored in the 3-0 win against Brighton, so he is in a good vein of form. He's very effective on that right-hand side. This has been Mason Greenwood's first season in the senior squad. I think he made his full debut for the football club in our 2-0 defeat to Cardiff at the end of last season. And he's only, the age of 18, or is it the age of 19, Mason Greenwood? I don't think he's on Rashford's level as yet, but I think, in the next year or so, he will develop into Marcus Rashford's level. So Solskjaer's come out and said that Mason Greenwood is now ready to play for England. But I think, we've got a very good attack now anyway. Rashford's, of course, very good. It was good to see Rashford end his 7-month goal drought. He scored against Bournemouth. That was his first goal since the resumption of the season. And like I said, Rashford was a big miss earlier on in the season because he was out with a back injury. And, as you all know, throughout the course of this season, Rashford has been playing out wide. I've also been very impressed with Anthony Martial. He's on 20 goals this season. He's Anthony Martial, just like Rashford. He also scored in a 5-2 win against Bournemouth. I think Martial looks very effective in that central position, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So, I've been very impressed with all our attacking players, really. So, yeah. And by the way, I'm very, very convinced that we can win a title under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because it's very, very imperative that we can get a title under Solskjaer. Of course, as it stands at the moment, we have won 20 titles, 13 of them Premier Leagues. So as it stands at the moment, we are the most successful team in England. We are the most successful team in England. Of course, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season and all of that. But I think, Solskjaer can deliver the title to Manchester United. I don't think we'll win it next season, but I think our expectations next season will be to challenge for the title. Like I said, we've got to have a competitive summer transfer window. Solskjaer's recently been, talking, about his plans for the summer transfer window. And I think he's looking to make at least 1 or 2 signings in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. Of course, we've got a chance of winning 2 trophies this season under Solskjaer. And that is, the FA Cup and the Europa League. Because we are into the semi-finals of the FA Cup, which is very, very good. We have got Chelsea. We're also into we're more or less into the last 8 of the Europa League because we are 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. So if we could win the FA Cup and the Europa League, or at least one of them, it would be a fantastic achievement for Manchester United and it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Let's put into the equation as well. We know we want a qualification for the Champions League for next season. Solskjaer was talking about the importance of Champions League qualification. But we need qualification for the Champions League. Obviously, it'll help us have more of a competitive summer transfer market. Plus, we'll generate money if we get qualification for the Champions League. We are just 2 points behind top 4 at the moment. Solskjaer was actually recently targeting a 3rd place finish, but we're only 3 points behind Leicester. We are in a good vein of form, and I think now we're going in the right direction under Solskjaer. Because we are unbeaten in our last 16 games in all competitions. I think we're unbeaten in his last 9 league games. And I think this is our best vein of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. So a lot of aspects of our game have really, really improved. Players have improved. We're scoring more goals. We're creating more chances. I've got to say as well, defensively, we look better. So this is, really, really good to see. We've got 5 games remaining in the Premier League. I think in reality, we should win at least 4 of our 5 remaining games. I'll probably win all of them if we can. Solskjaer did say, though, we haven't got an easy run-in. Obviously, we have got points to prove against the teams that we've struggled against earlier on this season. Aston Villa's our next game on Thursday. We drew with them early on the season 2-2 at Old Trafford. Also, we've got Southampton coming up. We're due with them early on the season, 1-1. They beat City yesterday, 1-0. We've got West Ham coming up. We lost to them early on the season, 2-0. Palace coming up. We lost to them early on the season, 2-1. So Solskjaer knows we have still got points to prove against these teams. But yeah, so what a turnaround we've had under him because earlier on in the season, we enjoyed our worst start to a Premier League season for 30 years. And reflects on that, Solskjaer was close to getting sacked by the football club. And at that point, there was talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in. There was also talks of Massimiliano Allegri coming in. But I've already gone through with you, why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't get sacked and why he's still in the job at Manchester United. Because I think this unbeaten run's played a part in Solskjaer staying at the club. I think definitely the signing of Bruno Fernandez has saved his job at the club as well because Bruno Fernandez has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. We got Bruno Fernandez in January from Sporting Lisbon for £65 million. For £65 million. That's That's how much we got Bruno Fernandez for, with add-ons included. And I think didn't he sign a 5 or a 5.5 year deal? Bruno Fernandez, in our last game, he got 2 assists and also scored. He also scored twice against Brighton. I think he's got a good 6 or 7 goals for us now since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon. And in nearly every single Premier League match, he's been given man of the match, reflecting on his good run of performances, but has definitely made the difference in the team as Bruno Fernandez. Like I said, our record against the big 6 sides this season's been very, very good. We've taken 18 points against the big 6 sides this season, so you can say that's another part that's played a part in Solskjaer remaining at Man United as well. And maybe him being a club legend could also play a part in it, because Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. But like I said, I think we can definitely get our 21st title under him. It's going to obviously take time, because obviously at the moment City strides ahead of us and Liverpool are strides ahead of us. But I think, like I said, we are around 2-3 signings away from, becoming title contenders. I think, we have got a good squad at the moment. I think it's a top 4 squad, but I don't think the squad's good enough, to challenge for a league at the moment, or of course to win the league. That's my opinion. Solskjaer's been at the football club for 18 months, so he has been with us a year and a half. And, like I said, I've been very, very impressed with our recruitment since Solskjaer came in. So far Solskjaer's recommended 5 players into the football club and spent just over £200 million. And he brought these 5 players in the 2 previous windows, because Solskjaer didn't recommend anyone in his first transfer window. Last summer, Solskjaer brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, he brought Bruno Fernandez and Odin Igalo in. And they've all, done very, very well, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. But like I said, Solskjaer will be at the football club next season, because he does deserve at least another season at Manchester United, because it is a transition period, and it has been a transition period for a while. I'm actually not sure how much we're going to get to spend in the summer transfer window. I'm not sure how much we're going to get to spend. Quite a few weeks ago, Solskjaer did say he's unsure how much Man United will have to spend due to the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic. But Solskjaer knows for the summer transfer window, he's got the backing of Ed Woodward. He's also got the backing of the Glazers, because they have said on quite a few occasions they're willing to back him. And Ed Woodward has assured Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe. Woodward came out the other month and he said that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market. But on the other hand, he did say we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So he ruled out big transfers to Man United. Don't forget, our net debt is just over 429 million. Because our debt the other month had risen up by almost £130 million. So there's a lot of uncertainty for the summer transfer window. But like I said to you recently, Solskjaer's confirmed his summer transfer expectations, and he said, we need to make 1 or 2 good decisions to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. But maybe, the battle for the top 4 could actually go down to the wire. But as long as, we keep winning games, there's still a good chance we can get in that top 4. It all depends, if Chelsea slip up. I have got to make an admission regarding Chelsea, because they've done very, very good business so far. Have they recruited like 2 or 3 players in under Frank Lampard, so they could be in there with a shout next season, could Chelsea. They could be in there with a shout. Yeah. Like I said, Solskjaer's going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window, so he's going to get rid of more of the deadwood at the football club, because he's actually got rid of a lot of players since he came in, so I'll give him credit for that. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. So we are going to generate money that way. Like I said, I am getting glimpses now of the Alex Ferguson days of, of what I've seen in this unbeaten run. We're playing like we did under Alex Ferguson. That, like I said, I want us to be back how I was under Ferguson anyway. Alex Ferguson endured 26 years at Manchester United, endured 22 years of success. Because let's put into the equation, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. And we did win a total of 38 major honours under him. And like I said, no one at Manchester United, and I don't think any manager in general will replicate Ferguson's legacy. They won't replicate Ferguson's legacy. They won't last as long as Alex Ferguson did. So let's just put that into the equation. But like I said, in the last 7 years, we have been playing catch-up. We've had different managers with different philosophies. We spent close to the £1 billion range on players, and people say, reflect on the money we spent, we should be, where Liverpool are. Like I said, we sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. So Solskjaer's our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. So we have been inconsistent for, the last 7 years or so. But one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent is reflecting on, the mistakes we have made. There's been cultural problems at the club for several years. There's been a lot of problems with the club's board. There's been a lot of problems with Ed Woodward and the Glazers because, we have been very, very critical of them. Our recruitment policy's been poor. Also, for the last 7 years, we've also been criticised for overpaying for players. And in the last 7 years, we've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. And I think a lot of the players we've brought in, have not been the right calibre players for Man United. But on the other hand, maybe you can say there's players that we've brought in, who we shouldn't have brought in, over the years. Over the years. Some people say we give Solskjaer the job too early permanently. But, the reason we give Solskjaer the job permanently was reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, But Solskjaer, has now got that managerial experience, reflects on how long he's been with Man United. Of course, Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. And, before he was at us, he was at Molde. He did actually, quite well at Molde. Won quite a few trophies with Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was disastrous. He only managed 29 games for Cardiff, only enjoyed a short tenure. But the main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff, Solskjaer, is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. Don't forget he managed a Manchester United reserve team from 2008 to 2010, was it? So he did watch some of this team at this day and age grow and develop. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. And I've got to also credit Solskjaer because he's promoted the youth very, very well. The young players have been given their opportunities this season. And Solskjaer did say in general anyway, when he first came into the football club, he said everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players. And this is exactly, what has happened. Also, too, we've got quite a few long-serving players at the football club, that have been here for a while. You've got Anthony Martial now. That's into his 5th season at the football club. This has been his 5th season, yeah. You've got Rashford that's been in United players since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. You've got Juan Mata now. He's into his 6th season at Manchester United. You've got there's a few others as well. You've got De Gea now, he's into his 9th season at Manchester United. He's approaching his 10th year at the football club. You've got Luke Shaw. This has been his 6th season at Manchester United. You've got Matic. This has been now his 3rd season at the football club. So, we have still got quite a few long-serving players in the team. Phil Jones, this is now been his 9th season at Man United. And we've had long-serving players before, don't forget. Ashley Young, he left in January, went to Inter Milan. He enjoyed 8.5 years at the club. Valencia left last summer. He enjoyed 10 years at the club. Herrera left last summer. He enjoyed 5 years at the club. Fellaini left in January 2019. He enjoyed 6 years at the club. So, these quite a few. These quite a few in that. But yeah, so like I said, we've got to get some silverware on the board to restore winning mentality, because we have lacked silverware in the last 7 years. We've only won... In the last 7 years, we've only won 3 trophies, and that was the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho and that. I still don't know if Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Man United. I honestly don't know, but we seem to be now going in the right direction under him. But I think the real test for Solskjaer is next season, because next season he will have bigger expectations to exceed. He really, really will. But the test for Solskjaer is definitely next season. But some people believe, Solskjaer will emulate into the next Jurgen Klopp, if he's given the time that he is demanding. Even if we weren't to get qualification for the Champions League, I still think Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. I think has he just now got under 2 years left on his contract, because when we gave him the job permanently in March last year, Solskjaer did sign a 3-year contract at the football club. But yeah, we've had some very, very good results under him. We've also had some poor results. Let's also put that into the equation. Beat Bournemouth 5-2 recently. It was the first time we scored 5 goals under Solskjaer in the Premier League since a 5-1 win against Cardiff. We've also had some other big wins as well under him. We beat Tranmere 6-0. We beat Lask 5-0. We beat Bruges 5-0. Like I said, we beat Cardiff 5-1. So we have had some, big wins under Solskjaer. But now, Solskjaer, I think with his tactical changes made, things are working out. His decision making's also improved a lot. Now he seems to have a plan A, seems to have a plan B, which he didn't have earlier on in the season. Also, too, I think he knows now his best 11. Because Solskjaer has made a lot of rotation throughout the course of this season. He's made a lot of rotation. But that's reflected on the injuries that we had early on in the season. I think now Solskjaer as well knows his best formation, because he has been changing formation persistently this season. But if you've watched Man United a lot this season, Solskjaer has been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation and all of that. So yeah, I think he has now got it right at Manchester United. He has now got it right at Manchester United. By the way, the news, don't you, on Jadon Sancho. We've not yet come to an agreement on a fee with Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund have said that they want at least £100 million for Jadon Sancho, but I think they do value Jadon Sancho around £150 million. Don't forget, Sancho did say he will put a transfer request in, or could put a transfer request in if Dortmund refuse to let him come to Man United. Ian McGarry, who's a transfer expert, and also Duncan Castles said it as well. They both said that Sancho's agreed personal terms with Man United. He's agreed a 5-year contract worth around 140 grand a week, but there's no fee that's yet come to an agreement. Of course, it's saying the same sort of thing as it said in February, because back in February it said that Sancho had agreed almost every little detail of move to Man United. He said the only thing that hadn't been agreed was the fee. And as I'm aware, at the moment, we have not yet actually put a bid in for Jadon Sancho. Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he's spoken quite a few times about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga. We have, like Fabrizio Romano said a while ago, we have been working on Jadon Sancho's contract for quite some time, and we've also been in negotiations with his agent. But Jadon Sancho is our priority target. We have been in for Sancho since 2017. So we have been in for him now for quite a few years. I believe now we're the only team in for him because Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool's distanced himself away from him. Pep Guardiola at City's distanced himself away from him because there was stories coming out a few weeks ago saying that Sancho was willing to return to Man City because we was struggling to meet Borussia Dortmund's asking price. We were struggling to meet Dortmund's asking price. He's a former City player. He endured 2 years at City, but the main explanation why I left Manchester City is because he didn't get any first team opportunities, and City only sold him for £8 million. But analysing the performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho's got a contract with Dortmund till 2022. He recently said we're only willing to pay £50 million for Sancho, nothing more. So we are still looking to get him on the board, and I've already outlined the reasons why I want Jadon Sancho at Man United. Well proven in the Premier League, very, very good friendship with Rashford, and he's predominantly a right winger, and Manchester United are in search for a right winger. I think it said that Dortmund not too long ago had set the deadline for Sancho, and it said that Sancho's got to make a decision on his future before the start of next season. Borussia Dortmund have said they're not willing to sell him. I think the German transfer window does open in October. We have looked at a few alternatives to Jadon Sancho. If we do miss out on Sancho, we've looked at a few alternatives to him, but got to make an admission, he is cheaper solutions than Jadon Sancho. So let's just put that into the equation. Like I said, Jack Grealish, he's another one of our priority targets as well. You already know the news regarding him, and you saw my video that I did yesterday. I went through with you how Manchester United could line up with Grealish, Sancho and Pogba in the team next season. Because obviously, Pogba is going to be at the football club next season more than likely. The midfield, I think, would be Pogba as in a deep central midfield position. Then you'd have Fernandez and Jack Grealish ahead of Paul Pogba. Then, of course, you'd have Sancho on the right wing. So that's how I think, we could line up with, with them two players next season and all of that. That's how I think Manchester United could line up. That's how I think Manchester United could line up and that. Like I said, the preview for the Aston Villa game will be coming up. It will be coming up on the 7th of July. Yeah, the preview for that will be coming up. It is away, is Aston Villa. So it's another game that Manchester United must win. That we've missed out on Jude Bellingham. Sosljaker was asked in a previous press conference, about Jude Bellingham. He refused to comment on Jude Bellingham. He's gone to Dortmund, I think, or he's closed in on a move to Dortmund if it hasn't been fully confirmed as yet. So that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.